Time now for our exclusive interview with former President George W. Bush. He joins us this morning from Lajitas, Texas, where he is leading the Warrior 100, a three-day mountain bike ride with U.S. servicemen and women seriously wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan. And Mr. President, thanks for joining us this morning and bringing along one of your fellow riders, Sergeant Major Chris Sell from Fort Campbell. It's great to see you.
Yeah, thanks, George. I appreciate you giving Chris and me a chance to come on your show.
Well, we're happy to have you, and I want to talk more about your mission in this ride, but just first, your reaction to this heartbreaking news out of Afghanistan, another deadly ambush. Several Americans may have been killed. Yeah,
of course, our hearts go out to the families of those who have lost a loved one, and you know, any time a life is lost, it's a tragedy.
Let me ask you about what you're trying to do here with this three-day ride, and it's not going to be an easy one. What mission are you trying? What message are you trying to send this morning?
Well, first of all, we're here in South Texas, riding 100 kilometers on mountain bikes with people like Chris, who are severely wounded in combat. The message is this: one, I hope Americans take a look at Chris and realize that that you can overcome unbelievable obstacles. Secondly, we're honoring groups that have helped these wounded warriors recover. Thirdly, it gives me a chance to, in my retirement, to get some exercise. We're going to have a special day today. We got Lance Armstrong leading the peloton, and we're in about an hour. We're going to go charging across the Texas desert, and it's been an unbelievable experience.
And Chris, the president mentioned this. Your story really is unbelievably inspiring. You lost a leg in Iraq back in 2005, wounded in battle, yet you came back to actually serve 2 8-month tours in Iraq, and now you're going to be riding 100 miles on a bike.
Yes, sir. I got the opportunity to go back to active duty. There's more and more soldiers like myself getting to stay on active duty, and the return to Iraq was kind of like completing the circle. You know, I left something behind, and then we got to go back and continue on with the mission.
I understand the president.
Hey, George, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this guy. So yesterday, I crank it up as hard as I can. Admittedly, I'm about to receive Medicare, but nevertheless, I'm riding pretty good. And this guy is on my back wheel for 30 miles.
With one-legged.
Yeah, with one leg. And listen, we got other athletes like Chris here, and Chris brought his wife down here, and Lajitas is a fabulous place to ride mountain bikes and play golf, although none of us are playing golf.
Well, it sounds like you're going to have an amazing 3 days and for a very, very important cause. But before I let you go, Mr. President, just a couple other things breaking. This morning, we just learned that the man you sent to Iraq to command the surge, General David Petraeus, is actually going to be coming back to Washington to run the CIA and Leon Panetta at the Pentagon. What's your reaction to that?
You know, both of them are good men. I have the great respect for David Petraeus. I got to know him well. I also got to know Leon Panetta, not as well as I did David, and both of them are good public servants. And you know, which one is this, gossip or truth?
No, it's truth. We're reporting it this morning. It is done. It's being announced later this week.
Well, just because you're reporting it, as you might recall, doesn't necessarily mean.
Well, I'm fairly confident on this one this morning, Mr. President.
Okay, that's good.
I'm glad you're getting the endorsement. Something else that a lot of Americans are dealing with right now, these high gas prices. Now that you're a civilian, I guess you have to go pump your own gas as well. But what do you say to Americans, and you had to deal with this when you were president as well, who look at these prices going up at the pump and say there must be something you can do about it?
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest Americans understand how supply and demand works, and if you restrict supplies of crude, price of oil is going to go up, and it affects gasoline. But you know, I really look. I appreciate you giving me a chance to opine on all the issues of the day. But as you know, I've made the decision to support causes I'm interested in without feeling like I've got to give an opinion on every issue.
And I recognize that, and I do appreciate that. And final word.
So you're still going to try, nevertheless. You haven't lost. You haven't lost a step, Stephanopoulos.
Well, neither of you, Mr. President, because you just ran out the clock on me.
There you go.
But thank you very much for coming on this morning, for bringing Sergeant Self on as well. It is an incredibly important cause. You're going to be helping a lot of veterans' families and really sending an important message to the rest of the country about what these brave young men and women have done for our country. So thanks very much for coming on this morning.
Thanks, George.
So long.
Good to